Hi everyone! So today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, how I started free movement, and basically how I started the whole business idea, and where we've been and stuff like that. So while doing my makeup and I guess my hair kinda. So if you're interested to knowing how I do my makeup and if you want to know more about how I started a business, please keep watching. By the way, this is Tiger. He's my baby. Tiger, say hi everyone. Hello everyone. So I am going to attempt to do my makeup today. Vitasoy. Who doesn't love Vitasoy? Alright, so before we're gonna start on the makeup look for today, make sure I keep myself hydrated because this is a different point of time in life where I have to pump breast milk as well, so stay hydrated. Okay, so the look that I'm gonna go for today is gonna be really simple, I'm gonna go for date night tonight with my husband, Ashley. So I wanna create something that, it's fun. We're going to go to the KTV, we're gonna sing some songs. And yeah, so it's gonna be that kind of look. But the whole point of this video today is we're gonna talk about how exactly I started my business, Free Movement Solutions. We're actually here in my filming studio now. And of course, in the filming studio, I really wanted a hair and makeup table. So this is exactly where I'm sitting. And yeah, thanks for sharing this time with me. I'm starting to love this area a lot more. So as you can see, it's a very real thing. I've got my Alex drawers at the back. This is my mommy bag here. This is a mom's bag. And of course, vacuum cleaners, clothes, and stuff like that. Welcome to come here anytime if you would like. Let's get started on the makeup and let's just talk about how I started Free Movement, where I started from, and maybe and hopefully you'll find some inspiration from it as well. Let's start with our makeup. I am going to just pin my hair all back first. Like I have a really bad bald spot here. I think it's from all the dance days. So, as you can see right now, I still have my mom's body. So, I'm not entirely back in shape, after giving birth. It's been quite a journey. So, yes, I need to start to get back in shape, but let's just start with our makeup first. Let's start with base. So for base today, I'm going to use the Innisfree My Foundation in 1.5. This one has really good coverage. I really like it. How I started Free Movement, basically right out of university, or rather before I was out of university really. A friend of mine, Agnes, Callista, had a shop at Scape, and then she was saying that she wants to let go of the lease, and I was like, you know what, let me take over. Because the thing is, even before any of this happened, I actually already had a lot of ideas going on in my head about how I really wanted to start my own business. And all of these ideas in my head just kept going and going and going. And the thing is, I couldn't really stop dreaming about it or thinking about it. So that really killed me to not be able to do something about it. And I really want to do something. So therefore, I decided to just start. It was crazy because the rent where we were at was not cheap either. Can't remember. I think it was about like, for a really tiny space in Singapore was 3,000 Singapore dollars. At that point of time, of course, when you're young, you just started, you just think that, oh, you're gonna make money, you're gonna make sense out of it, right? But no. There were a lot more things than I thought. I didn't really think about that because to me that was part of entrepreneurship. Like you think that you have an idea, it's gonna work really well, but it didn't really work that way for me. Not for me at least. I made a lot of mistakes. I thought that my ideas were amazing. So basically in that shop, I was selling dancewear and dance footwear, everything related to dance. But why? Because there's this dance studio or dance school called Old School at upstairs where my shop was at. I really wanted to serve the dance market, like dancers. But that being said, one of the things that really got me over there was, number one, when you are in a shopping mall, you wouldn't realize it, but there are actually a lot of rules to follow. So that's one. Second thing was also that, I was still trying to figure out who my target audiences were, the customers that I really wanted, and that wasn't something that I was really sure. That took me some time to really work it out. So that was another thing. One of the things that really threw me off when I was over there was that there was like a huge infestation going on. It was really bad. The caterpillars would come in and then they would, form cocoons in some of the clothes and stuff like that. It was really gross, and I threw a lot of stocks away. I changed my entire furniture, which was from black to white, because I really wanted to make sure that nobody would ever use it and stuff like that. And it was just things that I wouldn't even have considered in the first place. You know what I mean? So that was already one thing that threw me really off. But anyway, I didn't finish the full contract at Scape. I can't remember if I got someone to take over my contract or if I just dropped it. I think I got someone to take over my contract, something like that. And then I went on to actually move free movement to different dance studios instead. So we had like small spaces at dance studios, the small showcases where people could order our products and stuff like that. But it was all very physical, we didn't have an online store, at least not yet at the point of time. And it was only later that I really started on the online store. So yes. So moving on from Scape, went on to different dance studios. I was at studios like N Motion. There was a studio called Wings to Wings. They're no longer around. And we were at a couple of different studios with small displays here and there and stuff like that. So it was a nice time, but it took a lot of effort to kind of run around and talk to the customers, deliver the orders, fulfill the orders. There was a lot of things, a lot of the inventory was in one dance studio, and then I would actually shift it over to another studio, deliver the orders and stuff like that. It was not a very practical way, I would say. So if you're thinking of doing that, putting inventory or doing a showcase and doing the fulfillment, it's a lot of things over the years. And this is from 2014, yeah, so this is 2014. Now we're in 2022. 8 years later, right now, I can say that a lot of things have improved, and I've definitely thought about that. So I don't recommend doing that, okay? Just don't do what I did. It was very local. Anyway, the good thing is I tried and I failed, and here I am. So that's the most important thing, okay? And it's okay if you make a mistake, you just keep moving on. If you fall, you get up, you just keep moving on. You fall, you get up, just keep moving on. Just keep going and going and going. So that's what I did. It didn't make sense. It didn't work out for having a space at different dance studios. But I was also teaching dance at the same point of time. I was teaching dance and fitness classes. And I also opened a cafe with my girlfriend, Honey. Our cafe name was called Nito. So she started the first one, and then we opened a second outlet at Robertson Quay. One was at Boat Quay, the other one was at Burlington Square. So that was really fun. F&B is not easy. It's really not easy. So I've moved on to concealer, and this is the concealer that I'm using now. This is the Etude House Big Cover Concealer, Skin Fit Pro. I've had this for quite some time, but it's not bad. Covers quite well, so it's okay. This sponge, I can't remember where I got it from. It's kind of hard. I don't really like it. But anyway, I'm still using it because I have it and I don't want to waste it. But yes, this spongy here. So I usually dab on my hand this way and I continue to pat on. Where was I? Cafe, F&B. Oh, that was not easy. So I think it wasn't easy because my friend Juan, right, she has a lot of experience in F&B, which makes a lot of difference. Whereas I don't have any experience at all. That was kind of hard for me because I had a lot of crash courses that I had to do, like for instance, how to make coffee. What's the difference between a latte and a cappuccino? How do you wash very quickly? How do you clear the table and stuff like that? Oh, it was just so fast. Everything was just very fast paced, especially when the lunch crowd came in and stuff like that. So F&B is really tough. To all of you guys who have like F&B businesses, who are in cafes, and if you're working there, if you run that business, well done, you're amazing. It's not easy, but very worth it when you see like the customers being so satisfied and happy with your food. And that's always a plus point. I was in F&B for a while, but it didn't really work out for me. I think after a while, once we finished the contract, we kind of stopped the F&B as well. And yeah, we moved on to different things. And then what happened for free movement was I then at a point of time had two partners, which was Nariko and Derek. Basically, that was how the free movement online site started. I didn't start it beforehand because, to me, in my mind, it was really bad. But I was like, okay, IT is not my thing, yada yada yada. I can start it and stuff like that, but no. I think at that point of time, the whole game changed when Derek really said, okay, we need to start the website and stuff like that. That was really good. We started there, we went on Shopify, and I have no regrets for Shopify. Like, Shopify is my baby. And Shopify, oh my gosh, like, I would recommend Shopify to anyone who wants to start an online business selling stuff, because Shopify is my go-to, and I wouldn't use anything else. So yes, up till now, Free Movement is still on Shopify. I use Shopify. I love Shopify. I recommend Shopify. I'm not paid for this. But yes, I recommend it. Definitely want to recommend only things that, I think would really help. From there, what happened was when I was teaching dance as well at the dance studios, I really wanted to give up on Free Movement already, because I felt like this wasn't what I had in my mind. It wasn't like close to what I had in my dreams. I thought, once I have the products, I can sell it really well and I make a big profit out of it, and things would go on from there. But that didn't turn out like that at all. Before I decided to officially give up, so what happened was I actually met my now husband, Ash, and he really told me, you shouldn't just give up on your dreams like that so quickly. And he really wanted me to go all out and push for it and to really go forth on my dreams. At that point of time, I thought that was absolutely crazy, because the thing is, if I were to drop everything, I wouldn't have like a fixed income every month if I were to just pursue Free Movement and rent a space and start it like that. So that was absolutely crazy at a point of time. Very. Back to makeup. I'm going to set my makeup right now. So I'm going to use two things. I'm going to use the RCMA powder. If you've not heard of this, oh my gosh, this is like my holy grail. I love this. And I've got the Etude House Dream On powder, which I'm going to use to set as well. I'm going to use the RCMA powder for under my eyes first, because I think that always makes a difference. And I did use the Real Techniques dome shape brush to kind of blend the foundation into my pores, because it was not looking really cute when you could see all of the pores. So I got a disposable sponge which is completely out of shape. I have no idea why. But anyway, these ones I think I got from Daiso, like the disposable ones. It's $2 for a whole pack, so that was great. So yeah, okay, continuing on. After my husband was very, very supportive, I decided, okay, you know what, let's go look for a place to rent. And that was, I think, the point of time when Free Movement really changed. Because before that, remember, I was just basically buying and reselling, and the model changed to then now tailoring dance costumes. And the reason why I wanted to go there was because a lot of people started to ask for this service. And I did try, but every time I looked for a tailor, they would just say, no, cannot. You cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot do a lot of things. So it got me really annoyed, because to me, I'm like, why can't you do that? Because in my head, I conceptualized it. I was like, yeah, you can sew it this way. Why can't you sew it this way? So what I decided to do then was, because I was taking in orders, and also at the same point of time, I didn't really understand why that cannot be done. So therefore, I decided to sew on my own. That wasn't an easy decision, but I felt confident of it in a way, because the thing is, before that, there was this Tinkerbell costume that I made from scratch. And the thing is, it actually looked really good, even though it was super scratchy and super uncomfortable. But anyway, it did really well. Like, a lot of people wanted to know more about it. Some people even wanted to buy my costume. From then on, it gave me a little bit more of a confidence, because I suddenly felt like, oh, it's a costume that I made that myself, and people actually want to pay money for it. So that was one of the things. But also in school, when I was in St. Nicholas Girls' School, we had home economics, and I always did really well for sewing. So if you're growing up and you're not sure what you do, whatever that you're doing well in school, it could be something that you want to chase. So yes, that gave me confidence as well. Oh yes, I'm using the multitask brush from Real Techniques. So yeah, I got a space at Chinatown. I was crazy enough to do it. I managed to find, I tell you, God has his ways. So when I went to look for spaces, suddenly there was this shop that was available, even though it wasn't listed. And the agent was like, you know what, let me just bring you there and see if you like the space, even though it's out of your budget. Because, my budget was really low. And the moment I walked there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is God's calling. Because the lady that was moving out is actually a dance tailor. And I was like, in the first place, there aren't even many dance tailors in Singapore. And the fact that she's moving out at the same point of time that I want to come in, and the moment I talked to her, I was like, that's it. This is exactly what I was looking for. This is exactly what I needed. And she passed on lots of things to me as well, which was really helpful, and I'm grateful. So I forgot to say that I actually have tattooed my eyebrows before, and I just started to laser them away because I really didn't like the shape of it. So that's why I kind of concealed them, you know, and I have to redraw them now until I go back to do the embroidery. So I'm just gonna do my brows. So I took over the shop. I had to, right? It was God's providence or something. I don't know. It was just too much of a coincidence, right? And I took over the shop, and she actually left quite a few things, you know, for me. She left some fabrics, accessories, and things that, you know, because she was going to retire and she was like, I'm not going to bring any of these with me at all. She basically just left me a lot of things, and, you know, I was really grateful. Gave me some advice as well. Even passed on some of her customers to me. Anyway, I'm using the Etude House drawing eyebrow. These were really cheap and I love them. So yeah, I took over the shop and essentially started to really learn how to sew from there. So for those of you who don't already know, I do have an online sewing course right now. And we still do make costumes and apparels for people. That's all over on my website as well. But I really started really small and being really trying to really be humble as a student to learn how to sew. And I made so many mistakes, and you know, I was sewing day in and day out, and that's why to me I feel like if I could do it all over again, I would try to look for a course that would teach me how to sew dancewear fabrics. But honestly, there's not many courses out there who do that, because dancewear fabrics is a very niche thing, or rather dancewear is very niche, and stretch fabrics is just really hard to sew. That's another thing to consider. So anyway, I learned how to sew, and the rest is history, as I would say. No, I made a lot of mistakes there. I mean, I took in a lot of orders, and it was funny because like I remember how like I was making a costume for these guys, and they really wanted their costumes fast or something, and then you know they started cornering me in my space, and it was this whole like, oh my gosh, as a woman entrepreneur, this is so hard. Like I have to deal with the customers this way as well. So it was a lot of different things, but you know, that's also because when you have a physical space, you need to remember that you actually need to take care of the physical space as well. So that is another topic for another day, for another story during the makeup time. Yes. After Chinatown, I actually moved on to Oxley Bizhub, and that is around here, around the Ubi area. And the reason why I moved into Oxley Bizhub was because my neighbors actually wanted to move in to a new space as well. We wanted a bigger space, and we thought that we could share a space. So from Chinatown, I was there for about a year and a half maybe. So my stints in spaces have not been really long, except for maybe the dance studio spaces. From Oxley Bizhub, I had 1 unit, 2 units, almost had a 3rd unit before deciding to move over to the current space here, which is in the shop house space in Singapore, which I feel like is a lot more brilliant. So those are all the spaces I had. As to why I moved out from Oxley Bizhub, I'm gonna save that for another video, so you know all of the shebangs and all of the freaking drama that went into it before moving here. And honestly, having a physical space in Singapore can be a little bit tough, but I definitely want to share like tips and tricks on how to actually get around it, especially like commercial properties. That makes a lot of a difference. Different businesses, some businesses are completely online, some businesses are very physical, some are a mix of both. Currently, for Free Movement, we are a mix of both. Alright, so I've just used the MAC Paint Pot as my eye base, just to make sure it doesn't crease, because you know, with these hidden double eyelids, things crease a lot really quickly. I'm gonna use the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in Stone Street 16, and I'm gonna use that for the eyeshadow color base as well as the contouring and the whole shebangs, because you know, I don't want to go too full out today. So basically at Macpherson Road, the current space here, I'm actually starting to love it more and more. But the good thing about this space is that, you know, there are a lot of like food around here, which makes a lot of a difference, I feel. Because with the food, you know, everyone is much happier. Definitely much happier with lots of food choices around here. And walking into the space is a lot easier as well. So I'm creating this, what do you call that? Like the Korean eye bag thing. Just using this brown shadow here, and I'll intensify it later as well. So yes, in our current space here, the size of our current space is a lot bigger than the Chinatown shop, for sure. So over in Chinatown, I think the space was so small. This space here at our shop house space, we have about 1,005 square feet, 1,500 square feet. And if you're not from Singapore, you're gonna realize that rent is very expensive in Singapore because land is so scarce, so it's really expensive in Singapore. That's definitely another thing to consider if you're going to rent a commercial property. Rent in Singapore is another thing, but I believe that you shouldn't be concerned about your rent, because if not, it's going to be real hard to think about anything else. Okay, I know it looks like funny now. Basically, I look like I have a black eye, but it will all make sense in a little while. I'm just going to use the same shadow, and I'm going to do my nose contours. So this one over here, I kind of learned from pony syndrome. Pony. So kind of do the contour starting from the eyebrows and, you know, blending it up to the eyebrows because it looks a lot nicer, which I agree. Bring it down the nose bridge to make the nose look a lot sharper. In the middle here, on top of the cupid's bow. Basically creating shadows on your face. Like I have uneven eyebrows. I always think it's really funny. I'm gonna move on to finishing up the eyes. So I had a lot of my eyelashes pulled out because I went to do my own extensions. So I'm trying to fix that right now. So I'm just gonna pop on some lashes and I'm gonna be back after I'm done with the eyes. Okay. Alright, I'm done with the lashes and a bit of the eyeliner. I'm gonna do blusher first while I wait for the lashes to dry. So I'm using the Instain by the Balm. I'm gonna use the same brush that I used earlier. Just to grab a little bit because this is red. And just pat it on. So yes, now at Free Movement, in our current space here at Macpherson Road, we have a retail space, we have a dance studio, a sewing studio, and a filming space, which is exactly where we're at now. And yeah, it's been pretty amazing. Lots of changes made, especially, you know, I think the hardest part was actually during COVID when we had to, you know, close up a lot of stuff and change up a lot of stuff. But I think our pivoting made a lot of a difference. Definitely something to look into. You know, pivoting according to the times and according to customer needs. So I think we pivoted really well. Not too bad, really. And yeah, I think we survived COVID pretty well as well. So we're very lucky for that. But I think that's the one important thing that, if not for anything today, you know, which is to be open to pivoting, you know, in times of need. Okay, I'm just using the same brush and using the same bronzer. It's lazy to wash so many brushes. And we've been creating a habit to wash and clean our brushes right after using them. That makes a difference in terms of the number of brushes to wash. Covering my bald spot. Okay, I'm gonna let the lashes dry, but I'm gonna do the lips first. So, okay, I'm gonna use this. This is the, I believe it's the Etude House Powder Rouge RG308. I think so. This is a very pretty color. So yeah, now in our current space, I think it's a lot better because we have a lot more space, and it's a lot easier to find our space as well, which is what I love. But the funny, interesting thing is, you know, we've really pivoted a lot throughout the years, far beyond what I thought it would be. Overlining. And let's finish off the eyes. So obviously I've overlined a lot. Now using the Maybelline, the Colossal Waterproof Mascara, and just running the lashes through so it looks more black and fuller, which makes it look nice. So yes, this is how it looks. I think it looks pretty good. Gonna finish the last touch with some setting spray. Let's go full out Etude House today with Fix and Fix Fixer. This completes the look for today. I'm just gonna do my hair. I don't know what to do for hair. I think I might just leave my hair down, I don't know. Yeah, so no more shifting for a while for free movement. So now I'm just gonna make sure that we remain constantly here for a bit and keep up with the filming, keep up with the inventing of the products and creating better products and moving on from here. So you definitely see a lot more of us on YouTube as well and all of our social media platforms, so that's gonna be great. Okay, I'm just gonna leave my hair like that then. So yes, I hope that you liked this whole video and the whole talk through was, you know, kind of inspirational to you. So if you're going ahead fighting for your dreams, go for it. You know, it's never an easy journey, but if all I can say from my experience is that the moment you fall, get up and just keep moving on. All right. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for spending time with me here today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, drop it down below as well. Definitely see you again very soon. Take care, stay safe, and till next time. Bye.